learning people a lot. It kind of depends. Man, what sparks a song? I'm learning more and more. So the muse. I'll just talk about the muse, but it's totally true. There is at some point, and oftentimes I just call it God. It's like inspiration. I don't know where a melody or a line or a hook or something that will really stick with me. That's where it's like in the song I recognize this is something I can't get it out of my head. So other people aren't going to be able to get it out of their head. So it's a good hook. So and so it seems to spark a lot from circumstance. I think. Ideally, I write and I will continue to write from a point of truth and not whitewashing, kind of trying to speak entirely from the heart in a really raw, soulful, this is all I've got and I'm putting it out on the table every single night for you. Take it or leave it. And thanks, man. That's the hope. But it kind of depends. I think a lot of it's circumstantial. I write, it's tough now, like, in a bit, it's being married is a completely different life. For those of you who are married, you know it already. For those of you who don't, it's a completely, there is no comparison to before and after. And I don't think Claire and I recognize that at all. We did all this pre-counseling and we read 4 or 5 books and we're all like, okay, these are the questions we need to ask. And then you live together and it's suddenly like, wait a minute. Who does the garbage? Like who's supposed to take out the garbage and who's doing laundry this week? Who's doing groceries this week? And formulating like it's a whole new life. It's a whole new how do I wake up in the morning? Especially when how do I go to sleep when you're waking up in the morning? Just figuring out life. And that has brought about a whole new. There's like it's a different. Whereas when you're younger, when I was younger, it's very easy to write about heartache. Because it's just something that has so much emotion, it's just like pouring out. You just have to take a pen and it'll do all the work for you usually, or do the work for me, it used to. And there's heartache still certainly in marriage, but it's a different heartache. It's like you lose a lot of the emo of like what if, because we know we will never leave each other. We will always be together. And so the question of, what to write about and what inspires the music, it seems to change, especially now where, well, I'll play this next song for you, and then maybe I'll give you an intro of the next song coming up, the song that I'd like to be the next single on my next album. Thanks for asking the question, though, man. I appreciate it. This next one is one that I wrote. Again, being a theater major, I couldn't just propose, just with a ring. There has to be a lighting crew. Yeah, exactly, yeah. A production that definitely was. And so I got a buddy down at ISU in the theater. Claire and I, we met through a movement class. And if you are not an acting major, a movement class sounds like a lot of acid. It sounds like a lot. It's goofy. It sounds trippy like crazy. But it changed my entire acting technique of where you basically get into a room and you're in black spandex. And so your bodies are kind of just exposed and out there, and you are just interacting. And so you explore movement. Sometimes you're an animal and exploring the movement of an animal, and just basically getting assimilated with your body in a way that we don't typically use it. So how do we walk? Why do we walk that way? Well, how do we carry ourselves, and why? And Claire and I met in an exploration, and we locked eyes. And for the next 45 minutes of class, we were just glued. And it started then a conversation of going out to coffee, and then into a relationship that then. For me especially, when we first started dating, I was I'm not gonna date. Like I don't need to date. Like I don't need a girlfriend. I just need a girl that I'm gonna talk to every day and everything, but calling it a girlfriend, but it's a girlfriend. And so so when I went to propose, I proposed in the same place that we ended up making that connection, in this Westhoff Theater. And this theater crew all together, lighting crew, and the cast from CNGM, they're recording it, and it was just a spectacle. But I wrote this song the night before. I finished it at 4 a.m., and I'd never played it successfully through all the way. And so it was all this nervousness, and my mom on the way down there was just like, Dennis, like, don't worry about it at all, just be there. Those are my words, be there. But she was saying basically, be present. Don't worry about, how it's gonna go. Like it's gonna go, however it's gonna go. So just be there and be with Claire, and it's gonna be perfect. And so I was nervous about it. I was like, no, like, what's she gonna say? No, I guess suppose so. But I didn't think so. So certainly not from screwing up the song. So I played it, and it went perfect. It was awesome. And she said yes, and we got married. So, but this is one I wrote for the proposal. It's called Only Want to Be With You. If you would have told me 6 months ago I'd be here now down on my knee, I'd say, babe, you're crazy. And if you would have told me 2 years ago I just met the alchemist of my soul, I'd say, she ain't gonna change me. But 40 days away will shape a man's heart, stretching on the arms and open these eyes. Wish I could have seen this right from the start. Took me so long to realize that I only wanna be with you for the rest of my life. I'm talking about growing old and wrinkling by your side. Only wanna be with you for the rest of my days. Forever never felt so real. What I'm really trying to say is, can I put a ring on you? I stole that last line from Beyonce, but don't tell anyone. A simple look, I know, but I'm a hoping it'll stick. Hold to your heart when we're apart, 'cause we ain't never gonna quit. There's no failing us. I must confess this quivering chest, my darling, I'm scared. Trying to find all the right test, but there's no way to prepare. Just gotta trust I'm enough. But 40 days away will shape a man's heart, stretching on the arms and open these eyes. Wish I could have seen this right from the start. Took me so long to realize that I only wanna be with you for the rest of my life. I'm talking about growing old and wrinkling by your side. Only wanna be with you for the rest of my days. Forever never felt so real. What I'm really trying to say is, can I put a ring on you? Can I put a ring on you? Can I put a ring on you?